Algiers camp. We'll get to some of that a little later in the pre-show, but for now, we have an undercard bout getting ready to get started for you. So I'm going to send it over to the Colonel Bob Sheridan and Rich Murata.
Well, thank you, Christina, and a lot of excitement as Christina talked about. We'll be getting to that, but right now, as we stream on TopRank.tv, Rich, this undercard fight, this is Majiha making his way in. He'll be taking on Jerwin and Ancajas. This is a bantamweight fight at 118 pounds. What do we get on Majiha?
Well, Majiha has been trying to step up. He's been actually fighting in his last couple of fights, fighting 12-rounders, but the fact is he lost those 12-rounders. So he keeps trying to take that step up in class, but has not been able to actually do it to the point where he wins the fight. Now, his opponent here, who we'll see in a few moments, Jerwin Ancajas, is kind of one of these latest guys that they tell you is the newest Manny Pacquiao. He's the next Manny Pacquiao. There's a lot of Filipino fighters who are coming under that particular category, which is a tough one to hold.
That's it. As you take a look at the tail of the tape, Ancajas is, he's slightly taller. He's a bit heavier. He's a year older, and he has a 3.5-inch advantage in reach. He's coming off a win in August, a first-round knockout victory over Rahmad Santoso in the Philippines. And, of course, Majiha is coming off a 12-round unanimous decision loss to Punch Lueng Sor Sing Yu. That was in Thailand. Very tough to go to Thailand and win a fight when you live in Tanzania. His Ancajas, and very good jab. He's heavy-handed. He's got a solid left hand. Got power there. Knows how to finish with pressure. He's actually a world-ranked fighter, by the way. He's ranked at both 115 pounds and 118 pounds. He's number 4 in the IBF at 115, and he's 15 in the WBA at 118 pounds. So, is he the next Manny Pacquiao? I don't know.
Well,
I said that about a lot of guys.
Yeah, it is. The only one who's come close, probably Nonito Donaire.
Yeah, Nonito had a real good run for a while, and I think we'll see more of Nonito.
Yeah, he's certainly not finished despite that recent defeat, and he intends to continue on, maybe at a lesser weight. But this young man has been attracting attention. As you mentioned, he's got himself a world ranking now, and he's got himself a record. I mean, he's 21-1-1, so he's definitely doing his business in the ring, Colonel. He's a young fighter. He's only 22 years old. Got a lot to live up to because Manny casts such a big shadow in the Philippines. But nonetheless, a lot of people feel this kid might have the goods.
Well, my guy in the Philippines is the Hall of Fame referee Bruce McTavish, and he tells me the kid's a real deal. At this stage of his career, he's 22 years old, but he's got 21 victories against the 1 loss and the 1 draw, 13 knockouts. So we'll find out how good he is tonight against Majiha, who, he's been on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Cotai Arena. It is a clash in Cotai 2. Pacquiao versus Algieri, being presented to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, MP Promotions, Star Boxing Banner Promotions, George Foreman presents Foreman Boys Promotions, La Cerveza Tecate con Carácter, Empire, coming to Fox January 2015. When you mix music, family, and power, the battle begins. Viber, the official messaging, calling app, and ringtone of the fight. Follow us on Viber, and our host, the Venetian Macau. These bouts are being sanctioned by the Professional Boxing Commission of China, President Han Jianping. We begin today's event with this bout, scheduled for 8 rounds in the bantamweight division. The 3 judges are Surat Soikrachang, Ben Kilze, and Sawaeng Tawikun. The man in charge, referee Pinit Prayatsa. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with red trim. When he stepped on the scale, he weighed in at 116.3 pounds or 52.75 kilograms. After stepping into the ring 24 times as a professional, he maintains a record of 15 victories against 5 losses, 4 bouts even, and 7 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, Fadhili Majiha. His opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing the colors of the Philippines, red, white, blue, and gold. He weighed in at an official 116.9 pounds or 52.02 kilograms. In 27 professional bouts, he has 21 victories against 1 lone defeat, 1 draw, and 13 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Representing Davao City, Panabo, the Philippines, Jerwin Ancajas.
So we're set to go. The referee from Thailand calls the fighters at the center of the ring. 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count. No 3 knockdown rule. The fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round, and only the referee
Once
can stop
again,
the fight.
don't do any fouls. Obey my command all the time and protect yourself anytime, okay? Good luck.
And that's the kind of instructions I like, Colonel. Don't do any fouls.
That's it.
There you go. I mean, that you don't get much simpler than that. I think another thing that we should point out, and fans in the United States might find this very unusual who are tuning in the late afternoon on the West Coast, but this is taking place in the 8 o'clock in the morning hour on Sunday morning. So we will also have that to deal with, or these fighters at least will, who best handles fighting at this time.
Well, Ancajas is from the Philippines, and Majiha is from Tanzania, and so this is what you would call a walk-in fight. We'll see how it goes here. You see, Ancajas is the southpaw, jabbing with the right hand. Majiha, in credit to him, he'll fight any place. He's fought in Tanzania, of course, in South Africa, Thailand, the Philippines, and now in China. He's in the white trunks with that flashy red trim. Red trunks with the white and a little bit of gold is Ancajas.
And he brings an interesting and a little bit unusual style, Fajiha, into the ring here tonight. As you'll notice, he has his left hand down quite a bit. It might be the spot for a good right hand counter by Ancajas.
See the quick hands of Ancajas immediately. Ancajas to the left of your screen. Fellow with his back to you from Tanzania. That, by the way, is where Mount Kilimanjaro is, if you know your geography. Tanzania. Decent jab, Majiha.
Yeah, and it looks like he gets around the ring pretty good.
He's not intimidated by Ancajas. Ancajas, he's got very quick hands. That time he kind of lingered with the jab.
Yeah, he's kind of sticking it out there almost like a measuring stick.
Caught him with a good right hand that time. And that to him is a right hook. Being the southpaw that he is.
There's that counter right I thought we might see here tonight from Ancajas. See that left hand down low by Majiha, and that might be a problem for him here.
Yeah, Majiha has a tendency to lean in, and he drops his right hand when he extends to reach with his left. Now he's dropped the left hand down. He was open for the right hand. You see, he hangs it a little bit low. When he goes with his right hand, he'll drop it even more. And you're right. Ancajas will be able to land that right hand of his. And he just landed it on the chin right there. Snapped the head, popped the head of Majiha.
So we're seeing an obvious weakness from the Tanzanian fighter.
This guy's got a record of 15-5 with 4 draws, only 7 knockouts. The other guy's got 21 wins, 13 KOs.
And his only problem really is when he stepped way up in class. Colonel, as we talked about, fighting those 2 12-rounders, which he lost decisions on in his last 2 fights.
Yeah, in both those fights, he had to go on the road for that to the Philippines, to Thailand, and it's very tough to get a decision. All right, round 1 is in the books. We're streaming around the world and hope that you're enjoying it on TopRank.tv, TopRank.com.
Kung mo man kag-hook, tindog. Kung mo man tindog.
Very nice long jab there. Good work of getting under the attempt of a counter. That was really nice work there by Ancajas. But he set it up with the jab, which is I liked. I didn't like the work of most of his jab in that round, but certainly that was a good example of how well he can when it's on the mark.
All right, here we go. Colonel Bob Sheridan here, along with Rich Murata and Christina Poncha, bringing us a lot of color from Macau. Jerwin Ancajas in the red trunks from the Philippines. Wants to pick up the pace a little bit now, does the southpaw against Fadhili Majiha from Tanzania in the white trunks. Fancy red trim.
You know, down through the years, it's been interesting because they've put Filipino fighters many times on Manny Pacquiao cards, whether they be in the United States or elsewhere. And it is all so important to those Philippine fighters to do well on a Manny Pacquiao card because they know how many eyes on their homeland are on them.
Oh, for sure. And, of course, the wealthy Filipinos are here in this arena because, oh, he caught him with the left hand, almost dropped him. It didn't look that powerful, but it got him back on his heels. I think he was partially off balance. But it's only a couple hours to fly from Manila to Macau. And so there will be a lot of Filipinos in the arena. And they'll start to fill up pretty fast here because the local people here in the Cotai Arena want to see Rex Cho and they want to see Kukuning, who they call the Macau Kid, and they're the next two guys up in that order.
Yeah, we'll have the Wonder Kid in one fight and the Macau Kid in another fight.
Right. And both of them can fight. Ancajas just doing what he has to do. He's beaten him to the punch. He's got the quicker hands. Even when he threw that, that right hook, caught him with a nice right hook that time, spun the head of Majiha.
Ancajas' versatility and really his aggressiveness in this round is serving him well. He's pushing the fight now, and he's pushing Majiha backwards, and that is really helping him.
Yeah, Majiha's got a problem of coming straight back instead of coming out at angles. That's never a good idea. You want to get out away from the punches. Try to get your man following you instead of cutting you off. Another solid left hand landed again by the Filipino fighter Ancajas. It's pretty good.
Yes, he's got a nice variety of punches. I really love his right hook. Comes over the top with it. It almost is headed on a downward trajectory sometimes, Colonel, when he brings it up high.
Now, he's only an inch taller, but he looks a lot taller than this guy, partially because of the way Mahia, is kind of roll over his shoulder forward. He loaded up a left hand himself, but it didn't land. Nice body shot that time just before the bell by Ancajas. So we get two in the books in the scheduled 8-rounder. Majiha actually won a couple of national and local flyweight championships at 112 pounds in Africa.
Let's take a look at some of the action in round two. This was a more aggressive Ancajas in round number two, coming forward and really forcing, as you can see, Majiha to give ground on several of occasions, but that was the most dramatic time. That little quick left cross, that didn't travel very far, Colonel, maybe 8 inches, and it was just enough to throw Majiha off balance. And I certainly thought Ancajas had a much better round in round two than he did. Round one was kind of a pick-em round, but round two definitely went to the Philippine fighter.
On my score sheet, I gave both rounds to Ancajas, so I've got it 2018. All right, here we go. This is round number 3, scheduled for 8. This is an 8-round bantamweight fight, contested at 118 pounds. They both come in under that at 116.9 and 116.3. Ancajas being the heavier of the two. They're both starting to load up the punches a little bit more. Nice uppercut, which we haven't seen from Ancajas. There's that hook that you talked about, Rich, and it's a solid hook for Ancajas. Ancajas in the red, in the white trunks is Majiha.
The busier Ancajas is, the better he is. He's backing off a little in this round. I liked his aggression in round 2 and his strategy that he used more in round 2, but it looks like he's trying to lure Majiha into some mistakes in this round.
Majiha himself has turned it up a little bit more. He's not pulling out all the time. He's coming forward a little bit more than he did in the last round.
Boy, Jerwin just looks like he cannot miss with that right hook.
Well, we pointed out back in the first round, a lot of it has to do with the way he drops his left hand. You see, when Majiha throws his right hand like that, when he really loaded up that time, he had his whole shoulder and left hand down. And I'll tell you, Ancajas has some nice speed, and a straight left hand drops him. How about that? Does this guy want to fight anymore? It's up to 5, 6. I don't know if he's going to get up. He's not getting up. It's 8, 9, and 10. A knockout in the third round, scored off and it was the left hand instead of the right hand of Jerwin Ancajas. So
very impressive, Colonel, because he had scored, and his most impressive punch throughout the fight had been the right hook, but that was a straight left cross, and it was a one-punch knockout. And I thought Majiha might be thinking about it when he was down there, and I think he thought, I think I've had enough of this.
Well, it worked out good for Jerwin Ancajas. Big smile on his face. The Filipino fans give the big applause.
Well, he should smile. That was a very good performance against Majiha, a veteran of 21 fights coming in. And I thought Jerwin looked very good. And here you'll see the knockout. And it's going to be one boom shot, straight left cross. Knees crumpled. Down he goes, flat in his back. He'll lay down completely prostrate here in a moment.
And down he goes. Watch it again. Watch the left hand. Bang! Right there, right on the chin. And he crumbles down. Notice the way he stays up on his elbow, and then he just sort of collapsed after that. And there's your winner. So what Bruce McTavish, the referee from the Philippines, told me is true. This kid is pretty darn good.
I don't know if he's the next Manny, but being the first Jerwin Ancajas is pretty good, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So far, so good. Is the official
referee reaches the count of 10 with an official time of 1 minute 48 seconds of round number 3. Your winner, by way of knockout from the Philippines, Jerwin Ancajas.
So Jerwin Ancajas, very successful with his third round knockout, and Majiha couldn't get up. The referee from Thailand reached the count of 10, and that's all she wrote.
I'll tell you too, Colonel, I was pretty impressed with that. I thought he showed a variety in his arsenal in that fight, a variety of punches. He found one that would definitely work throughout the fight. He controlled it with the right hands that he was throwing, taking advantage of the defensive weakness of Majiha. But then maybe when